Madam Forster, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair of the occasion, for giving me the floor. Your Excellency, Professor Sarah Anyang Agbo, Commissioner for Science and Technology, representing the Chairperson of the African Union Commission, Honorable Dr. Solomon Ayele Derso, Chairperson of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, Honorable Vice Chair, Honorable Remingoy Lumbu, and members of the African Commission, Honorable Minister of Justice, Honorable Dauda Jallo, my Lord, Honorable Justice Sylvain Ore, President of the Court, Madam Chairperson, with your kind permission, I beg to stand on existing protocol, and I wish to say that all protocols duly and respectfully observed. On behalf of my colleagues of the Forum on the Participation of NGOs in the 67th Ordinary Session of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, it is indeed an honor and a privilege as spokesperson to deliver this statement on this auspicious occasion. Allow me at the onset to acknowledge and thank the Honorable Chairperson, Dr. Solomon Ayele Derso, and members of the African Commission for affording us this opportunity. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in the continuing predicament brought on by the pandemic, COVID-19, the Forum on the Participation of NGOs in the 67th Ordinary Session of the African Commission was held virtually and was organized and facilitated by the Secretariat of the Forum, the African Center for Democracy and Human Rights Studies, from the 9th to 11th November. It is worthy to note that the turnout at the Forum was healthy and participation was reflective of the mutual and professional interest in the work of the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, which has led to the adoption of commendable outcomes. Over 400 representatives registered, while over 140 representatives from 39 African countries, including participants from Europe, North Africa, were able to connect and participate during the 3 days. In the words of the representative of the Ministry of Justice, Mamadou Saliou Sow, reiterated the fact that the challenges posed by COVID-19 has occupied most, if not all, countries around the world, to the extent that Africa cannot afford to take a backseat under the circumstances. Measures aimed at reducing infection and death rates, as well as mitigate the effects of the crisis, has greatly affected lives and livelihoods, like sectors of the economy, exposed the deficiency of the healthcare systems, and further exposed the most vulnerable of the populace to the ills of hunger, poverty, and deprivation in the communities. It was observed that there is a rise of anti-human rights and democratic forces which lingered to take advantage of the crisis to further assert authority or tighten the hold on traumatized citizenry. The human rights situation of the Forum, human rights situation in Africa was reviewed and in response to COVID. Whilst the African Union Constitutive Act aspires to build a unified, peaceful, and prosperous Africa, we also noted that Agenda 2063 consolidates this, and it is hoped that it will usher in the Africa we want. However, with the continuing pandemic, which is ravaging the continent, all hands need to be on deck to squarely confront this monster that has most, if not all, countries on their feet. The Forum therefore highlighted that despite the ongoing struggles to address COVID-19, Africa continues to experience human rights violations. The recent human rights issues include the NSAS movement in Nigeria against police brutality, the recent massacres in Ethiopia with mootings of civil war, the post-electoral chaos in Ivory Coast, Mali, and Guinea, the ongoing civil unrest in Cameroon, among others, the lockdown and arrest of human rights defenders in Algeria, Egypt, and Tunisia, interference of by the judiciary in Malawi, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. Corruption persists in Africa and is a major issue, especially in the days of this pandemic. Mismanagement and lack of accountability by public officials for funds made available for the pandemic have proved elusive in many African countries. It was stated that 40% of the funds during the Ebola outbreak were unaccounted for. And we therefore urge the Commission to call on governments to review existing legislations to ensure accountability and appropriate punishment for perpetrators. We also saw the rise in anti-terrorism laws, which is used to crack down on protesters. During COVID-19, responses from civil society have further demonstrated their determination, innovation, and resilience. And we have also, studies have shown that the civic space health is something that a lot more has to be done. 46 African countries have introduced legal measures in the fight against the pandemic, and it was further revealed that presently 7 countries are still operating declarations of states of emergency, whilst another 7 have declared state of calamity. I want to highlight a few recommendations that came out of the forum, in which we urge the African Commission to call on African states to implement Resolution 449 of the Commission and to especially review their states of emergency regulations in line with the respect of human rights. We also recommended that the need to address security challenges, which has been aggravated during the pandemic, restricting the movement of migrants, restricting of civic space, increase in domestic and other cases of violations against women. The forum renews its call to the African Union to provide more support to states in their transitional justice programs and to involve and increase the participation of women in post-conflict reconstruction. Restrictions and violations on freedom of expression, association, movement, assembly take prominence during these days of COVID-19. And the forum urges the African Commission to develop standardized tools to facilitate reporting of violations, to enable them to appropriately design and respond to them. The pandemic had further widened the gap between the haves and the have-nots and revealed inequalities and injustices in communities. The forum calls on the African Commission to urge states to put in place measures that ensure effective social service delivery, monitor public-private sector involvement in education, and to adopt measures that favor vulnerable persons. Addressing corruption and ensuring accountability will, among others, strengthen the state's ability to provide quality health infrastructure and provide capacity training and acceptable working conditions for health personnel. The impact of adopted African Commission resolutions on states were also discussed, and we focused on Cameroon and Zimbabwe. It was revealed that whereas some states have taken the Commission seriously, there have been some progress made by others. From 2018 to date, a number of resolutions, 3 were made on Cameroon by the Commission, urging the states to call a dialogue of national unity, the establishment of an independent commission to conduct investigations on allegations, and requested for a fact-finding mission to the state. Unfortunately, only the dialogue was held, while other recommendations are still pending. The need to work with other human rights bodies, and in this case, collaboration between the African Commission and the UN was very helpful in getting some degree of implementation. During the forum, we also launched for the first time the maiden launch of the African Human Rights Report 2017, 2018, and 2019, which comprise of the reports that have been prepared by the focal points, the sub-regional focal points. And we believe that will be the first of many publications, joint publications from the forum. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, participants noted and congratulated the African Commission for all the gains they have made, and particularly for being the first AU organ to issue a series of press releases drawing attention to the existence of COVID-19 and urging the need to adopt a human rights approach in response to the pandemic since February 2020. As members of civil society, we continue to pledge our support for the work of Africa's premier human rights institution. We continue to urge as many of our participants and their constituencies to apply for observer status to enable them play their role and benefit from the access provided. In conclusion, the forum wishes to extend its sincere appreciation to all our partners and supporters who have supported the forum, the organization of the forum, under the constraints that which we all are experiencing in this time. Your Excellencies, Honorable Chairperson and members of the African Commission, distinguished guests, on behalf of the participants of the forum, of NGOs to the 67th session, I extend to you, Honorable Chairperson, Honorable Vice Chairperson of the Commission, and each commissioner of this august body, our best wishes for a successful session. I thank you all for your kind attention.
It's okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Forster, for your statement. I would like at this point now to invite the Vice Chairperson of the Network of African National Human Rights Institutions, Dr. Elasto Hilarious Mugwandi, to deliver a statement. You have the floor. She's still talking. Dr. Mugwadi, please unmute your mic. Please unmute your mic, please.
Am I unmuted now? Can you hear me?
Yes, you are.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you.